OMG in the morning.
OMG.
You know the meaning of OMG?
Oh my, I don't know what the last
Oh my
G
God.
is for. It's God or gosh?
Yeah.
Which one?
Gosh.
Gosh,
Mr. Cummings, how you feel about that? OMG in the morning.
OMG. Mass confusion.
Sounds like good words to use, man.
Daniel, my friend Bing finally went and got registered. So the great news here is that this year he's had a great year. He got registered to vote and he got a license to drive.
Hello?
This is good news, Bing. This is a great year.
You got
buddy.
another
Well
license to drive.
Buddy, congratulations.
Another license. Yeah,
Well
listen, I got
done,
another
buddy.
license to drive.
So you can drive now. Okay.
Another one.
This is really good news.
Another one. Yeah.
This is good news.
Yeah.
And
You see, I'm on your side, babe.
I know. Thank you very much. I mean, if I was in your constituency, I would have voted for you. And I would have.
And you're too late to transfer. Although some on the other side could still transfer you.
But
They seem to know how.
Guess whose constituency I'm voting in? Mr.
Believer.
Eustace.
You're voting a good man.
all these apparently there's a lot of people now registering, is what Bing told me.
Yep.
I mean, I have other people who went. If you see lines of people,
Yes.
it seems to me like this may well be the biggest election we've had in terms of everybody wanting to vote.
I would be surprised if it isn't.
What's the impact, in your opinion? Is that favor you or favor the ULP?
Heavily favor us.
Why?
Because people...
Why do you think that?
Yeah. If people are happy with the government, they just run of the mill. But when people are angry, when people have seen enough, when they've had enough, they go and vote with a passion, and that passion is against what they see. They're not happy with what they are, and they want to go to the end of the earth to make sure it changes. Change is the operative word in this election, and positive change. It's not changing for the sake of change. It's changing from rubbish to something that's good. Changing from theft to fairness. Changing from victimization to equity. Changing from immorality to uprightness. All of that is the change that is coming over this country. People have seen too much corruption. People have seen too much spite, too much victimization. Bing, in the NDP, when people come to us for school books with monies that we raise for ourselves, we never discriminate with anybody on partisan line. You have a government that takes the purse money from that all of us pay taxes and using it to buy galvanized lumber and cement to try to bribe people. Open bribe. You have candidates who don't have any government appointments doling out cement, galvanized lumber and steel to people who they perceive to be ULP people. This is misbehavior in public office of a worst kind, and Mr. Arnhem Eustace will revisit that, and they will pay according to the code of the law in this country. That's a promise we make.
Who will pay? Who will pay?
Those who are guilty.
And how do you
from
know?
Ralph Dung.
Okay, I just gonna.
We have the evidence, Bing.
You have the evidence.
We have the evidence.
Okay, cool.
It is too blatant. It's too sickening. Imagine people can't get sugar tablet. You can't get pressure tablet in the hospital, and you're spending $14 million.
I am in agreement with you.
When you know you've been to the hospital recently.
I spoke about.
You've been to the hospital recently.
Yes, he has.
Listen
actually.
to me.
Yeah.
Pray you don't get sick in this country, or you have plenty money. Because if you go there, you ain't going there to get better. You're going there to die.
Well,
to die.
Those are
That's what Milton
I will
Keynes
not.
is doing
I will.
to people.
I will not use those.
I can.
Those
Bing, I
strong
can
words.
give you that. The number of persons who have died there for reasons that they should not happen in any normal circumstance.
So what are you saying,
for
malpractice?
lack of a stocking. You know, I remind people, you know, in Trinidad, I had my recent operation. Thank God my wife could help me on this. And when before they pushed me into the operation, they put these tight white stockings on my leg. I said to the people, well, why the devil? I'm not a woman. Why are you doing me this? And they explained to me, that is to save your life, because you could get a blood clot and it could run to your brain. There are people who die in Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, including the wife of a former Attorney General, because they couldn't prevent that in the hospital. The operation was successful, but the patient died because of wanting of something as basic as that. When you reach that stage in a country, that's criminal behavior. When you're spending money to pay for four planes the size of a fly to touch down at Argyle, and you won't buy medicine to help poor people at the hospital, then you're making joke. After spending over $800 million on a project that's going absolutely nowhere fast, and you have a CEO who is more political than the politician and had the audacity to say he's not a politician. He's not a politician. He's a super idiot.
Well, I call him a moron.
And you almost
Hans
got
King
killed by Hans.
came to me
Yes.
in a manner to say, how
In
could
fancy.
you, in fancy, on Sunday, how could you call Mr. Cummings?
call him
I called him a moron on
you-
air.
who?
Miss Dr.
Matthias,
Matthias.
you call him a moron?
Yes.
You're
yes.
too kind.
I called him a moron because he said
That's your problem,
He said
you're too kind.
he hoped that Arnhem uses something to the effect doesn't come and sit in the VIP lounge.
lounge.
You see, I don't like to
agree
talk
with that.
about Rudy
Okay.
Matthias,
Yeah.
you know, because the CWSA is responsible for giving him his education. I know the man well, you know.
Really?
The CWSA is responsible for educating that man.
Let's continue the discussion on hospital. You were the person who came out as the one who cheerlead this whole.
The cheerleaders is not
What's
the right
the term?
one, man.
Give me the proper term.
I,
Give me the proper term.
I shadow the Ministry of Health.
He's a shadow
in the
minister.
So you were
and
part
so I am
of
the
the decision.
spokesperson.
You were the spokesperson on this project.
Yes.
So you were integrally involved in
Absolutely.
the entire thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So let's go.
Let me tell you something. People don't understand, you know, when Mr. Eustace delegates responsibility. He delegates responsibility.
Okay, so
I am the person
Responsible.
who deals
Dealt
with
with it.
health for and on behalf
Okay.
of the New Democratic
Okay.
Party.
So you were very involved in the design of this hospital.
Well, I was not involved in the design. I was involved in giving the experts the four corners, the
Right.
areas that we want, the
Right.
specification. The experts do the design.
Right.
I'm not a designer.
Okay.
I'm an
All
engineer.
right. All right.
Yeah.
So you said to Mr. Stewart and his company, I want a helipad and I want helicopter. Correct?
Of course, that's part of the equation.
Right. How did you arrive at the cost of this hospital?
Not me. Again, Short Engineering is a firm.
So you throwing Stewart under the bus, say?
Under which bus?
Well, I'm talking cost now, Mr. Cummings.
They have come up with a figure
Right.
based on realistic
Does
projections.
that make
of
sense
cost.
to you?
Of course it does.
$75 million.
That doesn't include.
Is that US or EC dollars?
EC dollars, but you see, that doesn't include all the equipment for the hospital. It doesn't include the helicopter.
Oh, it doesn't include the helicopter.
We
Okay.
give you the
Basic
cost of the
construction.
hospital,
Right, basic
and Bing. It's the first phase of a 3-phase project.
But what
this
we
is
saw,
not a joke.
what we saw, no, I'm not treating this as a
Yeah.
joke. What we saw in Calicut, that cost $75 million, excluding the
Yes.
equipment.
Yes,
How many rooms does this hospital have?
I can't give you the details now.
Why not?
I don't.
You don't
recall.
remember. You don't
I
remember.
Recall.
Okay, so how can you not remember the details of your grand project, Mr. Cummings?
Let me tell you something. What you should remember, Bing, is that this is a government that has sat on over $64 million available to it to build.
We're talking about
that
East St.
got
George Hospital here, Mr. Cummings.
that got consultants to advise them on the
Right.
moving
Right.
of Milton Keynes to a proper location with a brand new state-of-the-art facility.
Okay.
They have the report for a year and a half, and they hid it.
Okay,
They hid it.
I'm with you
they
on this one.
refused to allow the population
to know.
to give the consultants say they want to do a survey. They
Right.
want to ask people what you think about healthcare in St. Vincent.
Yes.
The government say, hell no, you can't do that. We're going to look too bad. We
All right.
don't want
Hold
it.
on. Let's
In other words, they don't
get
care
back to
about
the
the
East St.
people.
George Hospital, Mr. Cummings. Let's get back to the East St. George Hospital. I asked Vinod Frederick, your public relations officer, whether this hospital is going to be a private hospital, and she lost it. Now, maybe I might ask you, or someone who will not lose it. Will the hospital be a private hospital?
Of course not.
Okay. Where the funding is coming from for this hospital? Where?
But we have already indicated that.
No,
I just said to you that the government is sitting on $64 million that's available from the
so
World
you're going to
Bank,
use that
IMF.
$64 million from the World
The
Bank?
funding is already available.
How do you know that? You're not in government. How do you know that?
An angel delivered in my lap.
All right, Angel.
A godly angel like
Yes,
that
right.
in my lap.
Right.
The
So-
report done for this
so-
government
so the
by
World Bank-
World Bank
So
consultants.
the World Bank is funding the East St. George Hospital.
And they know it, and they kept it
Who
quiet
knows?
for so long. The government.
Okay, so you're relying. This is the first time we're hearing this information. According to Mr. Cummings, the World Bank is going to fund the $75 million for the
The
East St.
World
George.
Bank project of over $64 million. Among the projects included in that is the relocation of the Milton Keynes.
So you're going to
Memorial
take
Hospital.
that money and you're going to build
Some
the
of
East St.
it, some
George
of it.
Hospital. No, but
She's going to build a hospital.
Am I correct, Mr. Cummings?
You're quite right.
Okay. Does that money include the lands that you're going to buy?
No.
It doesn't
Bing,
include that.
No
Okay.
institution, no reputable institution is going to give the government money to buy lands for any project.
Okay, so who's going to buy the land?
The government has to buy, has to acquire
Taxpayers.
the land.
Taxpayers going to
Yes,
pay for
of
that.
course.
Okay. You have already identified the land.
Of course we have.
And it is in Calicut.
It is in East St. George.
Okay. Why don't you want to give the exact location?
Bing, you have common sense.
Yes.
The
Not
land
really.
would have to be purchased. Don't bother.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
do have
yeah.
common sense.
Yes,
The
yes.
land is not owned by the government.
Right.
If you start saying now which piece of land it is, what do you think will happen to the price?
Prices go up
We
dramatically.
care about the people of this country, you know. We don't want to squander money.
So you
Disclosing
are
the
going to
location
acquire-
is going to put us in a worse position for purchasing the land.
So you're going to acquire the lands.
You don't necessarily have to acquire. You can purchase. You
You're
can
going to
reach
purchase the
agreement
lands.
to purchase.
Okay. All right. And these lands are
And
presently belong to
we want the
homeowners
procedure-
or businesses.
We want the procedure to be as smooth as possible.
Right. The
and
lands-
in the interest of all parties.
the lands
we're not
for the
going to do
hospital.
like Argyle and take over people's land
Right.
and take forever to pay them. We're
Right.
not in that business.
But is that correct, Mr. Cummings?
Yes, they have more than 60 landowners who have not been paid up to today.
Can you give me some
And
of
I
the
know
names? Give me
people
three
who are-
names.
I
Give me
know
three
people-
names.
I
Give
know
me three
people-
names
Being
in
that-
Argyle.
No,
Three
I'm
names.
not going
Why
to
does he
single
have
out
to do
anybody.
that?
You can access that information
Why
very
does he
easily.
have to do that?
No, you can access that information very easily.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
the lands
And
that
I'm
you're
not going
going
to
to
put
the
anybody on the
lands
spot.
the lands that you're going to build the hospital on, these are businesses that you've not gotten yet, or these are homeowners?
You see, why are you assuming?
No,
that-
I'm asking. I'm
why
not
are you
assuming.
assuming that there are multiple owners or there are different categories? Let me tell you this. We have selected what is the best site available in this country
Right.
from all respects.
Right.
And when the time comes, which is shortly,
Right.
you will know.
Okay, Mr. Cummings, you have, when I say you, I mean your party, have forever said that we have private investors, we have international investors, but you are not willing to give the names of these investors or these companies. Why is that?
You don't know that?
No, I don't.
He's not a businessman. You're not a. Am I asking? You're not a.
I am a businessman, yes.
Yeah, listen. Business people get involved for one purpose: to make money.
Right.
They don't want their names to be involved in any what
Political
seems like
situation.
political situation. When the time is right, all of that would come to light. But you have known Arnim Eustace for a long time. Have you ever heard him come to this country and make a statement that he's not able to back up 100%?
Yes.
Tell me
Yes.
one.
Just before the last elections, he said that he was going to provide some large sums of jobs. I think it was 20,000 or something like that.
20,000 over 5 year
Yeah,
period. or
20,000
10-year period, I
jobs
can't
in
remember
5-year period. Did that make sense to you, Mr. Cummings?
You see, Bing, how do you know that that was not reality?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, but you
I
just said
Yeah, I said that it
that
didn't make
that
sense
is
to
an
me.
example.
Yeah, that's an example. That didn't make
Bing,
sense to me. It didn't
you're
make
not
sense to me.
thinking, my brother. Because he never had the opportunity to demonstrate what he was saying to you. How can you jump to the conclusion that it was erroneous?
The same time he presented it, he could have said, well, this is how I'm going to do
I've
it.
just given you the reason why business people do not disclose certain information until the time is right.
Okay.
It's logical, it is sensible,
So should
it's
I relate
practical.
that to the hospital? Business people who are private investors. Should I relate that to the hospital? That
The
these business people,
What aspect of the hospital? The government is funding the hospital.
Okay, all right, okay, cool. So the business people who
I
don't want
think
to...
Bing
the
needs a
bus-
cup of coffee.
The, the business people who don't want to divulge this information, this is in relation to what? Which project?
Private sector investment, where the private people... Let me ask you a question.
But which specific private sector project are you speaking about?
Most of them. Whether it be in hotels, whether it be in...
As it relates to government,
Whether
as it relates to government.
Whether it be in IT, whether it be in call center,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
It's a Bing, if you have money to spend,
Right.
you don't want your name to be
Banded
quoted
around, yeah.
unless you have signed on the dotted line. And we can't in opposition sign on the dotted line. But we have the clear understanding based on our mutual respect for one another and determination to
Okay.
get this country.
Another project, the Argyle International Airport. I am hearing the government, the ULP is saying that the NDP, they're going to take 20, they're going to do a study and they're going to get back to it in 2020. Is that correct?
You know, when I hear you quoting, you want to speak with authority.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I heard the ULP saying that.
And you're quoting from the ULP, being you let me down, you know. Listen, Ralph Gonsalves, the Prime Minister of this country, has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that he does not understand the difference between truth and lie. He has lied so much that he himself believes he's going to win 14 seats in this election.
What did the,
and if
what,
you,
what
if you
did the,
can't see that the man
what
has
is the
lost
NDP's position on the airport? Will they do a study of the airport?
The
almost done, Bing.
the NDP has made it abundantly clear that we believe the government has fouled up on several aspects of the construction of the airport.
Right.
We have made it clear that the government never did a proper study.
Right.
We have made it clear that the government never had the funding. We have made it clear that they put us in far too much debt. You know,
but what is the study that you're going to do, Mr. Cummings?
Give me a second.
The specific study that you're going to do with regard to the airport. Give
me a second, I'll come to it. Let me show you how outrageous this government is. You bring Cuban workers here of various categories. I'm not against the Cuban people, mind you. But when the Cubans come here, they get a salary that's substantially beyond their means. They eat food they never eat in their life. Why do you think they're stringing out this project? They wish this project could go on for 25 years.
So you're saying that the Cubans are deliberately stretching the project out?
They're not the only
part. That's what you just said.
They're not the only part of it.
Is that what you just said?
Rudy Matthias. I said that is likely to happen. But Rudy Matthias, who they put to manage that project, doesn't understand the first thing about project management. And I say that beyond the shadow of a doubt.
But he has gotten the airport thus far.
Not he. The
Who
Cubans,
has gotten that? The Cubans.
In particular.
Okay.
Because
so
they have... Let me explain.
What is the exact study that you're going to do, Mr. Cummings?
Some of the Cuban experts that they brought are very good at their work. The problem is they have never been allowed to work the way they are accustomed to work. The political
You're not
direction.
answering the question, though, Mr. Cummings. What is the exact study that you are going to do on the airport?
Well, among the things, the financing. Has the money that they made the government have to, that the people have to pay back, have they been spending it correctly? Has the money gone into the airport? Has the money for the fire engines that are not required for whenever the airport is going to open, has it been properly spent? How could it be that one Caribbean country buys a fire tender for $1 million EC dollars, and we are paying $1 million US dollar for the same fire tender? That is one example, we believe, of blatant corruption in the Argyle International Airport.
So that's one. What are the other studies? Because a study can't take so long to do. That's one. What are the others?
We need to know that they're doing it in a way that will ultimately allow us to have an airport that will be licensed by the authority. In other words, would international airlines be permitted to come here? Are we building to the requisite standards? Have the results of the wind studies been incorporated into the design of the airport?
And what if the result of all those studies are no? What will you do?
We wouldn't have a choice.
So why then do the study?
Because we have to make sure, it's not $50. It's not 50 million.
But if the result of what you're trying to find is not what you expect it to be, what will you do? Will you stop the project?
No, you cannot stop a project that's reached so far. But we want to know.
So then why you holding it up? Why you holding it up?
Modify and change.
You know, your mind isn't thinking as a scientist.
I'm worried about you now, Mr. Cummings.
Let me help you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me help you. You know the reason why we must do that? Because having reached this far, we have to do all that is possible to make sure it works and works well. You can't do that unless you assess.
But Mr. Cummings, the airport will almost finish.
This will not be a scapegoat thing to go and punish somebody politically. The study is not to find out how much money is siphoned off. Not only that, we know that. That will be proven.
You know how much money is siphoned off?
But listen, we have an idea.
You have an idea? Do you have an idea who has siphoned off the money?
Bing, you know better than I. I wouldn't answer that.
I do not know. I do not know.
Let me tell you something.
Do you have an idea who have siphoned off the monies?
We know that the money
has been siphoned off.
A lot of the money is not properly spent.
Okay, and you know who are the persons or persons are responsible?
I am not an auditor.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Bing, listen.
You're an engineer. What's wrong with you, buddy?
I like how you're trying to entrap me. I am just smiling inside.
Hold on, we're going to do a station ID at the top. We're going to do a station ID at the top. We're going to come right back. All right. This is OMG in the morning. We've got the Honourable Daniel Cummings inside with us this morning, Camping Series style.